What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the Ball to Ball series. As you know, the Ball to Ball series is an opportunity for Come Home to sit down with real men, talk about real things, specifically the ups and downs of the hair loss journey, as well as manhood. But today is a special episode of the Ball to Ball series because we're actually shooting it on site at Hodges Bend in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Hodges Bend is the premier coffee shop in Tulsa, and actually my boy's Don, one of his favorite spots to be at. So I'm glad we got you here today, bro.
I appreciate you.
You already know.
It's been good, man. It's been good. Hodges it's my spot, man. 3 p.m. every day.
It's a lot.
Except for Saturday and Sunday, man. But amazing bar, amazing ownership, amazing GM, great staff, great product, man.
Yeah. So actually, this is probably my third time visiting, but before I actually came for the first time, every time I was with Dom, he would tell me, hey, yo, just meet me at Hodges. Just meet me at Hodges. And I didn't understand what the hype was about until the first time I visited. But the hype is real. The vibe is super amazing here.
Man.
So if you're ever in Tulsa, Oklahoma, make sure you stop by Hodges Bend.
Absolutely.
It's definitely the spot.
Yeah, man.
So, Dom, again, thanks for joining us, man.
Thank you, man.
You know why we're here, bro.
Yeah,
to
man.
talk a little bit about the ups and downs of your hair loss journey.
For sure.
But before we get into that, I want you to give the people a quick intro, kind of like who you are, what you're doing here in Tulsa. You know, maybe interesting fact as well, bro.
Yeah, man. Dominick Ar'dis, founder and CEO of the Act House, global platform for team formation, startup creation. In short, we help founders find their identity, form better teams, and help them accelerate their dreams through our accelerator programs, which is a lot of fun. So one of our accelerators is here in Tulsa, 6-month incubation program. Literally, like, just brought in 9 companies in July, made some investments in them, and really just kind of helping them take it from point A to point B, and hopefully C and D at the same time. So it's a lot of fun, man. It's a lot of excitement. We came from Florida. So our first ever incubator was in a house, so a startup house. And for us, like, ACT stands for architects, creatives, and techies. So we had an architect who was more of a business UX mindset, a creative who was more of a designer, brander, and a techie who was more of an engineer. I actually talked to Keyshawn earlier this morning. And yeah, man, like, we had a startup house, ran it for about 2 years. Went into the 3rd year, was moving from about 6 fellows to about 54.
Wow.
Yeah, so like had co-living areas all across the city. We were actually expanding in Atlanta at the time too. And then the Demi hit, the little pandemic.
That Panamera.
I'm telling you, definitely was a full Panamera shot. Like, oh shoot. So yeah, you know, we deal with every good founder does. Like, you lock in.
Yeah.
And you really think through, okay, hey, what are the opportunities that are present? How do we need to shift and change the business? That's when things really start to open up for us in a very positive manner. And you know, we realized the best thing that we do is our programming and with our team model, mitigating startup failure. And so now we're able to do that in a more expansive way, which I'm very excited about. And brought half of our team out here to Tulsa, hired a couple folks out here as well, partnered with some good folks here in Tulsa, which is great. And yeah, man, we're just excited.
Yo, that's super amazing. And obviously, personally, I know you're doing amazing things. Yeah. But I want to make sure the people that's listening to this can know where to find you or find ACT specifically.
Yeah, man.
So let them know where they can find out or learn more about ACT.
Listen, so act.house. I know you're like act.house.com. No, just act.house. Top level domains, subdomains. Is it top level domains or subdomains? I don't know. Anyways, it's a good domain. And at the Act House on IG. My Instagram is at @IamDArtist. So yeah, man, we here.
No doubt,
yeah,
no doubt.
Yeah.
So Dom, you mentioned a little bit about starting in Florida.
Yeah.
One of the cool things about Come Home is we also like to talk about the aspect of home and what that means to people. Like people, the word home, people can relate to that in many different ways.
Yeah.
So when you hear the word home, what does that conjure up for you? What does that mean?
It's interesting. It conjures up a lot of conflictions because I'm a military brat.
Ah, okay.
So in being a military brat, you're born in one place, you may get a chance to be there for like 2 or 3 years, and then you're off to the races. Like, especially if your mother, your father, while they're in service, like, depending on how involved and active they are, what assignments they have to take. So I was born in Texas, man, like, traveled out throughout the United States, then traveled overseas, lived overseas. So home is this very philosophical feeling and emotion of where I can be my greatest self and have the greatest impact on the people around me.
Okay.
And that's a very, very present thing. If you go by the world standards, it's like, hey, where'd you do high school? Where'd you do college? And that's Tallahassee, Florida. I still rep the 850. That's still my area code.
No doubt.
But man, I tell you, like, home is it's that feeling of belonging but really the feeling of freedom, man. You know, like the feeling of freedom when you are kind of like walking in your divine purpose, mentally, spiritually, and physically. And when you think about even physically, it's like, okay, hey, from hey, what I wear, how I look, am I moving in freedom in that space, right? So when you even talk about that hair loss journey, it was like, brother wasn't moving in freedom.
Talk that talk, dog. Talk that talk.
I wasn't moving in freedom, so I had to like, you know, you gotta let it go.
Yeah,
yeah, you gotta let it go.
Well, you know, obviously, we're happy you came home. You know.
Yeah.
We're happy
absolutely.
you came home.
I'm happy too, man. 10 years in the making, so yeah, we good.
Say that.
We
say
good.
that.
We good.
So, Dom, obviously, I'm looking at you now. You've been rocking the ball, like you said, 10 years now.
Yeah,
so it's
man.
been a long time. You're basically a vet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. We provide tutorials for people to come through. Like I'm gonna jump in, like you know, gangs like they jump
you're
people
OG.
in. Exactly, OG in the game, man. So yeah, it's a real thing. It's a lifestyle.
But clearly it wasn't always like this, though, bro. So we want to hear your story, right? The big thing about Ball to Ball is you have the opportunity to share your story. So hopefully, guys watching this that may still be going through it can learn something and that'll help them along their journey.
Yeah, man.
So if you can take me back a bit, bro.
Yeah, dude. I remember this picture with me, my brother, and my dad in his military uniform, and we all had boxes. I was like 6 years old, man. I had a box fade. I mean, like, box fade.
Yeah.
And I was like 5, 6 years old. And so, like, you know, you go through that process of, like, oh, you got a box fade. The next thing you know, we moved to the States. So, like, dad wasn't spending that much time on cuts anymore. So then moved to, like, this little mini fro. And so I remember actually another picture of myself. I'm looking at it, like, in my mind of, like, me in his uniform, mini fro, chubby checker, you know, and I was just like, whoa. Right when you look at the photo, maybe we could like, I don't know when they do the post.
We need that.
Like show the photo, it's just like, like, so, you know, I think about that. And then when you start to kind of like injecting media in your life and like other influences, you know, like I always was in love with like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yep.
Like,
classic.
And so when you see like the evolution of like his hair journey in the show, you start to like have some of those influences rub off, right? I remember probably in middle school was probably like 8th grade where the focus around like, hey, I need to put on like a do-rag.
Talk about it.
Right? And get the dogs, the 360 wave brush. Like you had the pomade. You was
you know it.
Yeah.
Every night,
like,
every night for you or
critical. Yeah. Every night, man. So like, you know, you start asking, hey, I remember my favorite do-rag was this like split colorway, navy blue on the left, white on the right. It's my favorite do-rag, but it worked.
like, Dog, question for you.
And the dogs were smoking.
This is
like,
getting good.
Cool.
This is getting good. So I got to ask you this. If you can think back during that time, did you have a lot of do-rags? Did you just have one? Because I probably had a collection of.
And I had 3, bro.
And you know, do-rags are also accessories too.
Facts.
You wear them out the back pocket. You know, you would just put them over the shoulder. There are so many different ways you can rock them.
Your mama was letting you have some fun.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Nah, my mom was not having that. Take that do-rag off.
You couldn't leave the house with it?
No, I couldn't even leave it in my back.
Okay.
My back, you know. And then also at the time, I think we had, where I grew up, you know, it was just it was a sign.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, okay, do-rag hanging out the back.
Might mean
the back
something
pocket.
else.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
Right. So, you know, in that respect, it was just like,
not dealing with that.
Yeah, if you're not in, you're not in. Right. Like, be out. so in that respects, I think, you know, that was a process, man. But only like 2 or 3 do-rags, dude.
Okay.
And when you lost one, like the one that worked, it was such a pain, man, to try to recoup that. Such a pain. So yeah, man, only about 2, 3 do-rags.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you are in middle school, high school, you got the waves or whatever, you're going through that.
High school is where it matters.
Okay, tell me
where
more.
It mattered, right? Like, you know, like 14 to 21, like, you don't realize it. Hindsight is always like 20/20.
Yeah.
But you're dealing with a lot of identity crisis, right? Like, as a man, you are trying to understand who are you evolving to be?
Yep.
How do you map? You know, for me, it was like, how do I map towards women? Like, how do I map amongst like my other brothers? Like, what's your place?
Yeah.
And so, usually in high school, there were some markers, right?
So Dom, I'm gonna let you know right now. I'm getting excited where you're taking this because you know I've shot a lot of ball to balls, and we haven't really peeled back the layer of why hair meant so much
for sure.
to you during this time.
For
and
sure.
I think you get into this now.
Yeah,
so
man.
This is good.
It's like, so when you think about how you're mapping, the guys that you saw that were like that had the quote unquote clout in high school, either had cornrows that were dropping, not the nubs. Like the guys with the nubs. Like if you had the nubs, you actually had a do-rag on with the hat to fit it, right? So it wasn't really working for you. But if you had the cornrows, if you had dreads, or if your fade game in your lineup was on point, right? So Pops was still doing my haircuts in high school. But Pops was clean.
Let's talk
Pops
about
was clean.
it like
Yeah. Pops was clean. Pops was clean. Had the razor, the double edge, and had the shaving cream.
So you were still getting barbershop quality with Pops.
Sure.
Oh, that's solid.
Yeah. And the last name is Ar'dis. Like we're not sleeping. We're not sleeping on that. Yeah. So Pops was doing his thing, and so I was appreciative, right? But then when you wanted to put like a little part in it, he was like, "Come on, what we doing?" Right? Like it's too much art at that point. He was like, "Hey, at a certain point, we cutting this off." So man, I think it was throughout high school, everything was on point. So, and of course, like how you wear your hair depends on also like your frame, your body build, like how everything kind of like really snaps together. So you start to look at those things, and even as a man, you're looking at, okay, how is somebody dressing? So the things that I could take over in high school was, okay, in 10th grade, 9th grade, I started working, right? And I was already working before. Like I had a full-out candy operation. I was probably bringing in $200-300 a week. Then I got a summer job out, like doing lawn maintenance, like grounds, painting picket fences, like whole 9 yards, just getting busy with my hands. So then every summer we would go down to Orlando.
Yeah.
I'm at the outlets,
going
premium
crazy.
outlets, going crazy, right? And so that came along with like the do-rag and then the hat. And I think at the time, Echo Unlimited was like,
yes, sir. Take us back, man. Take
Echo
us
Unlimited
back.
they did the college edition with like, I remember having like this blue UCLA Bruins like shirt, jump off, man, and the jeans and all that stuff. So it was a whole like shindig, which was kind of cool, man. But it wasn't until college where you start to see that transition. For me, I was like in high school, I had a progression.
Okay.
So 9th grade came in getting roasted.
Yeah.
Right? Protected because my brothers went to the same high school.
Okay.
And they were gone, but like they had helped out so many people. It was like, yo, nobody touched Dom. It was like, bless up, right? Because we had like throw freshmen in the trash day, whole 9 yards. So I didn't get touched. I was like, he's been marked. He's good.
Y'all was wilding down there.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. So shout out to James Esburgers High School. So, anyways, and so 10th grade, 11th grade, that transition happened. I was playing baseball, was involved in student government, stuff like that. Like put on a TV show, radio show, whole 9 yards, which was a lot of fun. And so my superlative in high school was best all around, out top, and best dressed.
Nice.
Right? But I always tried to grow my hair out.
Okay.
Could never get the braids. Could never get like.
That's because it just wouldn't grow any further?
It wouldn't grow.
Okay.
Right? So I knew at that time I could not, like you see in the movies like Will, Denzel, like Clooney, they just changing the hair up.
Yeah.
Right? And granted, now I know I have some other information, but like they had some other support,
So
right?
let me jump in here too, man. So you talk about wanting to grow out and try the braids, and I imagine this was the time when AI was a big factor in culture.
Yeah.
Obviously, wearing the braids was a big deal.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to get the braids.
Yeah.
But this reminds me of how you said earlier, your mom wouldn't let you leave the house with a do-rag. My mom was anti-braids.
Really?
No chance.
My mom was with
No
it.
chance. Wouldn't let me do it.
I just couldn't grow, right? So that was an issue. Like because I couldn't grow the hair, that was a big issue. And I was like, man, like it would stop. So at that time, it's like either you're gonna like weather the storm, have the nubs, and I wasn't about it. I just couldn't do it. So we rocked the straight cut, fade. That's about it, man. But college was when, like freshman year, freshman year, sophomore year in college, that's when I started to see the temps move back. And I always had like some baby hair here. So that baby hair was like, man, if you nick that baby hair,
she may not come back.
Yeah.
She might not come back, Dom. She may not come back. We know that. We know that.
So
wait, Dom. No, I can't let you go forward. I gotta stop you right here because
Yeah.
you mentioned you're making that transition into college, and there's no one will let you slide without shouting out your alma mater.
Oh, for sure,
I can't
for
let
sure,
you slide.
for sure, man. Florida A&M University, like absolute. So like, you go from James S. Ricketts High School. I was trying to leave Tallahassee.
Okay.
And like, I love fam. Like, we'll do anything for my alma mater, like, and the people in it, for sure. I just didn't want to be in Tallahassee. I was like, I got to be out. And I was playing baseball at the time. So like, I was getting recruited from like, was it Duke, UF, a couple of other schools, UCF. And I was like, all right, cool. We'll keep this moving. And I put everything on the mat. Like, took it to prayer. And heard God clear as day, like, fam, you. I was just like, nah, bro. I was like, you got to show me some confirmation. So, man, that happened. I'm at fam. And it's like a larger microcosm of, like, Rickards in some ways. Like, Rickards it's predominantly African-American, but, like, we had, like, the International Baccalaureate program. So, like, everything was, like, definitely diverse. Fam is total HBCU, right?
Shout out to the HBCUs out there, for sure.
I'm telling you. So, like, the most interesting thing was my sophomore year when people used to roast me. They would only roast me I would only get roasted like for being like having a chubby checker, like man boobs or some bull crap, and then like the hairline.
Oh man!
So I was just like, all right, we can work on these man boobs, right? Like we can
fix that.
we can eat less carbs. Focus up on Thanksgiving and Christmas.
There was a blueprint for that.
Yeah, there's a blueprint for that. There wasn't a blueprint for the hair growth,
Yeah.
right? There was no Hems, there was no Keeps, right? There was none of that bull crap. Like, and if you had Rogaine, it was like.
And also, this is dope to mention because you're saying there was no Hems and Keeps. And if we think about it realistically, that product existed, but it was marketed as Rogaine or Propecia, and it was marketed to older men.
Absolutely.
So guys, your age,
absolutely,
first, second year in college, you're not really seeing that as something for you.
No, it wasn't accessible. Like, it wasn't accessible from even the dollar price point.
Facts.
Right?
Facts,
so like
facts.
That whole regrowth industry has like become more accessible, right? It's like, oh, use vitamin tablets now. Like, you can dive in on that. Nah, bro, I was diving in on fasting and praying. Like, trying to get the hair back, man. And so college, I'm like, doing my thing. You can kind of see what's happening. The dogs are still there, but you see the temps fading.
Yeah.
And I remember like it was yesterday. I'm not going to call this person out because they family. And it ain't my dad. So my barber at the time was doing his thing. He was locked in. But that one barber, man, and Spice Adams always has this joke, like that one barber with the headset talking. And he was talking too much and dialing in on one area, right on his right side. I still got trauma. I could feel it. And I remember he was taking too long.
Yeah, kept going over that part. You know that feeling,
and like the baby, I'm like, no, we got baby hair here. We got to be real protective.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yo, man, like, I was about to say his name. Bro, you done? He was like, I got you. All that bull crap. That barber drama.
Yeah.
And so, man, he finished up. And I looked in the mirror, and I was just like, fuck. Like, bro, I lost it. And I had to contain myself because I couldn't snap on him in the barber shop.
Yeah.
Because, like, that man got a job to keep, but I got some hair to keep.
Facts.
Right?
I'm saying you might be better than me, dog. I might have spazzed them in the shop.
Hey, and I'm going to my alma mater's homecoming, like for high school. Fitted.
It was a bad time for it to happen.
Fitted, bro. Fitted. Like, when you get that cut, rock the fitted. Yeah, man.
That's the worst feeling, man.
Yeah.
When you go to the shop, pay the bread, and still got to put the hat on. Man, now you down bad.
Pay the bread, then go to the mall to buy the hat. Buy the new era cap to put on just to go out.
Whoa.
Right? So everything else, everything looking strong.
Yeah.
But, it's like, why should you let your hair? Nah, we just rocking the fitted. And you playing it off.
I hate that for you, fam.
And so the imagery, man, like almost like the persona sometimes you have to put on, it is connected to our hair, right? So it wasn't until grad school, man, I went from Florida A&M to across the tracks to Florida State University, right? And it wasn't until grad school, I was dating this girl at the time, and shout out to her and her friend, like blessings over their life. And they're like, Dom, you would look good bald. And I was just like, I literally just like got done fasting and praying for some hair low key, bro. And I was just like, nah, like I'm good. Like y'all coming against God's will.
So wait, where you at now at this point, Dom? Is it getting worse here?
Oh, bro, it's coming back, but it's not at a place where like you're down bad.
Okay. You can still kind of hide it.
Yeah.
A little bit. Okay.
So like I'm brushing the right ways.
Yep.
You know, making it happen. Baby hair didn't grow back. So of course this side had to come back a little bit. You trying to even it out. All that bull crap, man. I hate even thinking about it. So what was interesting, they said you would look good bald. And I was just like, And then so I was like, all right, you know, when you locked in a relationship, you know, you trusting the person at the time. All right, you know, let's try.
Word.
So I remember like it was yesterday, man. I just like, you just took the blades, right? Like not like a razor or anything like that. The first time I ever interacted with a razor was like when the Army sent you the razor, like in the little box, like, you know, we want you, you know. And so I put it on my face. I remember breaking out. I was like, oh shoot. And my dad was like, what you doing? Like, you know, so anyways, I remember taking the blades and just kind of like cutting everything. Wow. So now it wasn't clean.
Yeah.
But it was just like, and I was just like, so I'm looking in the mirror and I'm just laughing like, oh shoot, like this is, I really just did this. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, like, you know, it's not too bad, quote unquote. So I was like,
wait, what year was this, Dom?
It was 24 years old, so I'm 34 now. I was 24, so 10 years ago.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, cool. So then it was like that process. So I let it grow back, and I was just like, okay, nah. Then I cut it again.
So wait, I gotta ask some questions here, bro. So you came home for the first time.
Yeah.
Now, did you like show people that look? Were you obviously? I'm assuming your girlfriend at the time saw, or were you just kind of hiding under the hat?
So I mean, they credit to them, dude. Like they credit to them in the process of like instilling some levels of confidence, right? So like they were, and I for the life of me, I know they were being genuine. So it wasn't like this faux pas, like, oh no, like, you know, what's really happening here. But you know, the cool thing was, man, I think like I came home-ish.
Yeah, you weren't
like,
really there.
Yeah, no, I wasn't.
You was in the neighborhood,
I
maybe.
Committed. I wasn't committed to the process, and so I was present, but I wasn't present.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
know what I'm saying? Like, so I was like in the room, but like I'm not in the conversation.
Yep.
So, you know, like that happened. I let it grow out for like 2 weeks, and then I like go back to the barbershop.
Okay.
And then, you know, and before that, bro, I was doing Bigen. I started doing some Bigen.
Talk about it. Yeah.
And I remember one time that Bigen, like, you know, my man Kenny, yo, he was like solid with the blades, right? Because I had to leave.
You couldn't see him again.
I love him today, man. I love him today. But I was just like, bro, don't you ever be talking on no phone like that, man. That's disrespectful. Be focused on your craft. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm paying you for the craft, not for you to talk on the phone. So, man, long story short, man, we ended up, you know, trying to Bigen a couple of times. But people start, you know, like, they don't notice the Bigen, but they know it's there.
Yeah.
Right?
Because it just looks so dark.
And then also, too, bro, like, I didn't feel home. Like, I was itching. So, like, if you can't work out with the Bigen.
Talk about it. Talk about it, Dom. Because so for people who don't understand what the Bigen is, because everybody doesn't know that experience. So let's get game here. Bigen, it's actually some kind of like, would you describe it as a paint, an ink? What would you?
It's kind of
dye,
like,
I think.
It's
more
like
likely.
This dye powder. They mix it up, and then it's almost like they like
fill it in a little bit.
Fill in, and they put it everywhere, right? It's like
you can put it. Some people do their beard. Some people do their hairline.
Like you'll see it like definitely in movies.
Yeah.
Right, like when they're trying to fill out somebody's like goatee, beard, all that. Oh, how is it so rich and dark? It's like, and so even when you think about media influencing you, it's like you're looking at that like, hey, I want my beard or goatee or hairline to be that dark. Well, bro, those are enhancements. Right? Like they're not walking around like that every day, you know. And so, but things you just don't know.
Yeah.
Right? You get older, you get some more wisdom, or you just start seeking knowledge.
Before you keep going here, Dom. So the thing about the Bigen folks is, you know, you can put it in, but like if you take a shower and it hits the wrong way, it's dripping down your face.
Yeah, you can't have
you
no
can't
solid
run,
workout plan.
Yeah, you can't sweat too much. So the Bigen will restrict you kind of how you can move. So get to it.
Yeah, man. So a couple of workouts with that, some sweat. I just started seeing that black drip. I said, man,
big drip.
I said, the hell, it's like a black oil running down my face. I said, man, this is ungodly. And I just was like, yo. So I think that was another piece of it, right? Like, so I'm all about, yo, just have your authentic expression in the earth. you know, it was even when a time when I came out of like code switching. Like, let me just refine who I am as a human. Let me refine my vocab. Let me refine my diction, my language, how I use my voice, how I amplify it. Let me refine language learning. Let me pick up a new language. Like, all those different things. And it was just like, no, like I'm gonna be in a meeting and talk about the hue. I'm gonna say hue and hella.
Yeah.
Right? Like
both can exist.
Exactly. Both can exist. And so, you know, I was thinking about things like that. And so for me, it's like being authentic. It's just like, man, like I don't want to do all this.
Yeah, that's the farthest thing from it.
Yeah, man. You start, as one of my mentors said, your ends start sticking out. Insecurities, insignificance, insufficiencies. So you start focusing on all the ends.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of doubling down on like, hey, what's the season and the timing for this moment? So it was like, yo, I gotta come home. Like, it was just like, I gotta shift. And so I came home-ish. Then I was like, yo, like, no, let's get after it. So man, like, I just hit it. So I just started doing it with like literally like, you know, the big blade that they take off all the hair with at first.
Yeah.
And just literally started just shaving it like that. No blade at first, man. And bought some clippers and just started hitting it with the clippers. And so of course I still had the stubble.
Yeah.
It is what it is, but like that's how I started, man.
So now that you're doing this, you officially decided you're gonna come home, you made the leap. Are you confident in it now? You feel fine in it? How long did it take? Oh, it was off.
Oh, bro, listen, man, we in. Like,
okay.
We jumping people in. Yeah, I mean, I think it probably took it's about 3 years.
Okay. To really get in your bag with it.
I think so.
Okay.
Like, and when I say that, it's like as in people start asking you about what you got going on, right? So like, I did the whole thing of like going to the barber shop, having them do the blade, whole 9 yards. And I'm keen on that. There's nothing wrong with it. I like the treatment, but you got to go to the right person, right?
Yeah.
Everybody doesn't have to switch the hot steam towel whole situation.
Sure.
Everybody doesn't do it like that. So I think for me, what ended up taking place was recognizing, all right, I got to get deep in this. But the main thing I was concerned about, man, was the bumps.
Yeah.
So like when I like first shaved, I went against the grain. I went against the grain. I thought I was gonna have that meat patty in the
Scary
back of my
hours.
head.
Scary hours. Wow.
2. Scary hours 2, not 1, 2. Right? So legit, man. I was like, no. Because I've seen the meat patty.
Oh yeah.
I'm like,
and it,
that keloid is different. So what happened was
that's
I said,
like one of
all
my
right,
worst nightmares,
bro.
honestly, bro.
So I started like using the razor, like started going with like the Gillette jump off. Started using the razor. I went against the grain on the backside. And what you have to learn when you're bald is, okay, what sides of my head were the most sensitive and like more supple parts of the skin. So I knew like around the ears, I would see bumps.
Yep.
Okay, cool. I can't go against on that. So then in the back of the head, there would be some like, okay, the neck area. Okay, I'm like, all right, we gotta. So what I started to do, man, was my mom always bought us buff pads when we were kids for like our face. So I was like, well, shoot, let me just use this on my head.
Yeah.
So I started figuring out the trick of, okay, you got to condition the skin, right? You have to genuinely, it's because it's new. Your head is not used to this, right? So like, you are literally like training the skin in order to operate how it needs to operate for the new environment, for the new crown,
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir.
So when I went against the grain, I would have the buff pad and just wash.
Yeah.
So every time I would finish up, I would wash. And just like, we had soft soap at the crib. So we both
get after
get after, right? And it was interesting too because I was going through this process while starting my first company. So when you think about the layers of like thought and like, am I in the right place? I'm working on a startup. Does anybody believe in a dream? Do I believe in a dream? I'm going bald. Do I believe in a new process? Just a lot to process. So in regards to everything, man, like the coolest thing was learning how to ensure that I didn't have ingrown hairs.
Yeah.
So the buff pad was life changing.
Okay.
Like life changing. And it just stopped that meat patty from coming in, bro. Because I wasn't gonna have it.
You can't do it.
Because if you ball with the meat patty,
it's over for
no
you.
offense to anybody who has it, but like
Slow motion.
if you're about to get in the game, take care of the skin, bro.
These are keys, people. These are keys right now.
It's
These are
critical,
keys.
man, because the more like if you get to the place of having the ingrown hairs, like for me, I'm like, no, we like every day, and so sometimes the skin will be raw, so you gotta be careful about that. So then I think it was not until 3 years in, man, where I probably like 2014, 2015, where like I really started like to develop a regimen.
Yeah.
And then I think at the time, you know, like for most folks who are bald, like Tristan Walker, when he came out with the innovation on like on bevel, you know, trying to, you know, having the razor like the Apple product. I was like, cool, let me jump in on that.
Yeah.
And the razor was good, but like it was a new blade.
It's a learning curve with that.
I'm telling you, right? So like you don't have like the 5-4 guard. It's just straight. So low-key, you need an OG in the game, like really teaching you. Like I got that cut, and it was like, woo, that blood. Yeah. So it's a learning process, but it's like how you respond to the learning. If you're not on the blogs, if you're not reading, if you're not talking to other folks, asking them questions. I would ask dudes like OGs who were bald, and they had that sheen. I'm talking about like that crystal ball. Like, and you know they had that shimmy, and it was when you put that friction on it, and I was just like, I'm not trying to go that deep, but I need to figure out what the process is. So man, talking to folks in the game, man, you really begin to like understand what it is, and then you figure out what works for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, you figure out what works for you.
So, two things here.
Yeah.
One, what you're kind of hitting on is like almost for you when you went bald.
Yeah.
You also now kind of started to learn more about what it meant to really have a self-care routine.
Oh, for sure, bro.
Right? And
For
I
sure.
think a lot of guys I've talked to during this ball to ball series, never really. I mean, you know, they use deodorant, use cologne here and there, but never had a for real kind of self-care routine.
Yeah.
But coming home really kind of forced you to really think about how do I maintain this,
As
and
you
that
dive
day,
in.
how do I maintain this?
Yeah.
So I'm glad that really was a good thing for you.
Yeah.
I want to take a step back really quickly. That day you finally came home and you were on with it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you started seeing your friends, family that day, girlfriends.
Yeah.
What were the initial reactions when you just stepped out like, hey, this is the new me? What was that like?
Yeah. It was interesting.
Yeah.
It was like, Dom? And it was like, yo, this actually looks good. So the more I kept hearing, this actually looks good, like every little moment was like confidence. You have some people gonna roast.
Of course.
You know, but you gotta it's like, okay, hey, if I got 28 good comments, 3 bad, all right, why are they saying this? Is it objective, subjective? You know, and so for me, I'm like, as a UX architect, I'm like diving into that. All right, what you mean by this? My neck looks small. Okay, talk to me about. Okay, cool. I need to get in the gym. Shoulder shrugs, because you got a new situation and you got to make sure stuff is going on. So anytime you're going through like a juice fast or anything like that, I'm like, all right, cool. Head gonna look a little bit bigger. Neck gonna look a little smaller. It is what it is. 7 days. We're gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right. So you know you listen to that feedback and then you evaluate it.
Yeah.
Right. But the more I kept hearing, hey, you look good with the bald head, the more I leaned into it. And that's when I actually started to, okay, well, how do I maintain this new thing, right? Like, and low key apologizing to God because I was trying to get this man to like, yo, bless me with some hair, right? Fill in.
But you didn't know he was really trying to bless you all along. You know what I'm saying?
Like, yo, speak to them dry bones, right? And it just wasn't taking place. But he was trying to transition me to a greater place. So honestly, like, it was like, all right, cool. So now, man, like to get in, like the biggest compliment is like when another dude is asking you the question, yo, bro, like, how do you?
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, cool, right? Because like that's a vulnerable place for men to be like, for men to seek help.
Yeah.
Legit,
Yeah.
right? Like to get over, it's like you have ego from a standpoint of how you handle your work and how you do your thing, but stepping into the humility factor of like just learning from another brother, right? No matter black, white, Asian, or Malaysian, like just stepping into that pocket and learning from another, it makes the world of a difference. And so I remember being at Howard University's graduation for one of my little bros, his graduation celebration, and I was sitting still, suited up and all that. This dude, like, Tats was like, yo, like literally like sitting next. I don't know this guy. He was like, hey man, like, how long you been bald? I just started chatting with him, and he was like, what do you use? I said, razor. And when you tell like another dude use a razor, it's like a newfound respect, right? He's like, for real? I said, yeah, man, you can do it. And literally, bro, like 2 days later, I had like sent him some tutorial videos, like some random dude I didn't know, like literally just like showed him my whole routine. Pre-shave oil, boom, shave cream, brush, lather it up, shave. So now, man, I can like, first when you start off shaving with the razor, it's like a 20-minute shave, maybe 30 minutes, because you're trying to just be careful. You're not trying to cut nothing. And then it just withers down in time. So now I can probably like, you know, shave in like 5 minutes, like 7 minutes.
That's just experience.
Yeah, that's it, bro. And because you also know like, okay, hey, hit these core areas, boom. And the hardest thing, of course, is, you know, you're trying to like work up in the back.
Everywhere,
But the reality is it also instills in you a newfound trust of like trusting your hands and your faculties and how you really think. And you really begin to kind of like just trust self at a higher level, man. So,
hey, man, I want to applaud you for giving game. You know what I'm saying? I think it's always a beautiful thing when brothers can give game, because obviously somebody gave game to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know my story. I was down bad when I was going through it. So, but I had a brother who also was on one of the episodes earlier.
Yeah.
And he gave me really good game.
Sweet.
And now I'm in a position to build Come Home and try to give a lot of people game.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful thing that there's that connection amongst bald men. We're really like, hey, you know what? Don't worry, I've been there. I got you.
Dude, and honestly, like I feel like it's almost like it's like a tribe now.
Come on now.
So what's interesting is, and I promise you I'm not showing out for ball to bowl. Like, this is life, right? Like, from a tribe standpoint, when you see another dude who's struggling, right? And you just know they don't want to let go.
Yeah.
But the reality, it's almost like it's not that they don't want to let go, but they don't know how to.
And it's like that change is scary though, bro. It's not
Definitely.
It's not easy. It's
ain't.
scary.
Like, at the time, like, I was fortunate to actually be dating someone who was like, "You'll look good, bald."
Yep.
Right. And her friend co-signed, and another friend co-signed. So like, there was that, like, and also support community from like the opposite sex. So for me, it was like, all right, cool, right? Like, let's be honest. We're not in the barbershop getting lined up just to be looking at ourselves in the mirror every day of like every moment of the day. It's just not happening, right? So when you don't have, it's almost like you're out there on the solo journey on it, and you don't have that support system. You're trying to really figure it out. But honestly, man, I've gone to another dude like, bro, just like, and you got to know how to.
Yeah,
you gotta, it's a
subtle. It gotta be gotta have some tact with it. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta have some tact.
Gotta have some tact with it.
Be like, bro, and you know you know, thank God for like the skills in business to be able to negotiate, mediate, facilitate, all that stuff. You know how to talk to people in order to help them kind of like make that transition, man, and come home. And it's a sensitive place, but like, if you are bald, you almost have a fiduciary responsibility.
Say that, man. Say
responsibility to be like, yo, bro, when you ready, I got you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And when you ready, because I'm not gonna make you jump the gun. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Even though sometimes in my head I'll be like, you need to go now, but I'm not gonna make you jump the gun. When you ready, let me know.
Hey, because some people need that push.
Yeah, absolutely.
Legit, like just like kick, like yo, get in the game. You know, but like, it's a real thing, man. You have that responsibility, and it's also too like you go through the airport, you see another bald-headed dude who like they clean with it. You like,
facts. You're right. Salute. Exactly.
It's a different. Low-key, there's an app with all the bald-headed dudes in the world, man. Just like networking. That'd be heat. Y'all might want to take that. Run with that. Run with that. Free gaming ideas.
That's some IP right there.
Yeah, man. So yeah, it's been a good journey.
So Dom, you kicked some game about your current routine.
Yeah.
I want to circle back. Can you run us through that again one more time so people watching know what works for you?
So 5-step drop, like some type of pre-shave oil, whether it's vitamin E oil or whatever it is. And this wasn't always a routine, but this is what I got moved into. Was a couple drops of that, boom. And I never knew
In the
why
shower
he
or
said it.
outside the shower? Is it
Nah,
wet?
outside.
Okay.
So it depends.
Okay.
If I'm like, very rarely do I shave in the shower, because what's happening is that like all that steam is opening you up, but as you're shaving, you're almost like drying your scalp out, right? So I've noticed my head is very grit, like it's almost like it's not this smooth like essence that's happening. It's like this stop after I shave in the shower. So pre-shave oil, lather up. I got my brush, and it's so interesting, man. Once you get into the game, you start looking like boars. So this bristle, and then you're looking at the handles, you know, all that stuff. So shave cream on the brush, lather, and then get it right. Shave. After I'm shaving, I believe in alcohol.
Okay.
Real. I do not.
Blame it on the juice.
Yeah,
Got
I'm
you feeling
telling
loose.
you, I believe in alcohol. So like one thing that the barbershop taught me was that alcohol, it kills germs.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm down with the like post shave cream and all that bull crap. Like it's cool. At the same time, the alcohol comes first.
Yeah.
Right? So, cause I'm not avoid the meat patty. That's it. Like
Whatever it takes.
whatever it takes at all costs. So alcohol, and then I've been doing this new thing, man, where these coffee ground scrubs, right? Like it's a little bit thicker. I'm actually starting to kind of try you guys exfoliator to dive into that. But I have these coffee ground scrubs, and like I'm in there.
Okay.
It's a little messy. I'm not gonna front, but the after effect is smooth. Like there's no other oil I need to add to it or anything like that. And so that's a vibe. But I need to find, that's why I'm excited to try you guys exfoliator, because it gets messy. So like I gotta like get the toilet tissue,
Yeah.
wipe in, the sink start turning brown, stuff like that. But it's worth the after effect.
For sure.
So yeah, man, it's like 5-step drop, bro.
Nice.
Like pre-shave, shave cream, like lather, shave, alcohol, and then the coffee ground scrub, bro.
No doubt,
Yeah, man.
no doubt.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
bro, man, I gotta tell you, just walk this down. Your 5-step routine clearly is smooth and it's getting the job done.
It's getting done.
But we gotta go into the next part here.
Yeah.
We like to call it the ball check. This is our first
Okay,
time
baby,
doing
baby.
it on site. But you gotta show off that
I
thing.
didn't shave
bro.
today, but
see what you working
it's
with.
solid.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
it's gravy.
Stop playing,
We
man.
moving. It's interesting too, because like I've noticed in being bald, when I had a cut, I could grow out my beard more. But when in being bald, really the 5 o'clock shadow, it's like a very enriched 5 o'clock shadow works.
Nice.
If I like grow it out like yours, it doesn't.
Do it for you.
No.
Gotcha.
But like it works. That or the goatee.
Yo, shout out to
Yeah,
everybody
man.
doing the 5 o'clock shadow. We see
Hey,
y'all out there, man.
For real,
You know
man.
what I'm saying? We
For
see
real,
y'all.
for real. So yeah, man, it's everybody like you gotta understand your frame, bro.
Facts.
Like some people can rock like Ross, can rock the big beard, bald head, but it works, right? It's like everything is there. My boy Vince Evans, he can rock the full beard, and he hasn't came home yet,
Uh-oh.
but he's en route. I
Tell him to holler at me.
saw his last like 10 cuts.
Tell him to holler at me, Dom.
They're real low.
Tell me I stop playing.
They've been real low, so he might be coming
Hey,
home
Vince,
soon.
get at me, man.
Might be happening, man, for real.
No doubt, man. So look, I want to transition now to the back half of the
Yeah,
ball to
yeah.
ball conversation.
Yeah, man.
It's called our lightning round.
Oh shoot.
I'm gonna ask you a few questions.
Yeah.
And just like kind of like first thing that comes to mind. Let me know what you're thinking. All right.
Yeah.
So the first thing here, we already talked about your grooming routine, right?
sure.
So if you had to think about all the grooming products you use, whether that's for the scalp, the goatee, or the 5 o'clock shadow,
yeah.
cologne, whatever, what would you say is like your go-to grooming product you can't move without? Which you gotta have this.
Go-to grooming product. Man, I'm such a minimalist. That vitamin E oil, bro.
Ooh, okay. And that's the
Dead
pre-shave? What is that?
It's actually depreciated, so like I rub it in my beard.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you're wet now?
Yeah.
You rub it in the wet?
Yeah.
You rub it in the wet? Hey, don't let my man do us like that. He said he rubbing in his beard.
Yeah, man, my beard, my goatee. Kind of scrubbing it in there. Yeah, man. It's like,
I wasn't gonna
it's like, nah,
I
bro,
wasn't gonna let you slide.
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I wasn't gonna let you slide,
Bro,
dog.
you don't have a beard, bro. You have a goatee. Stay in your lane. It's lanes, bro. You learn lanes real quick when you become bald, bro. But yeah, man, that vitamin E oil, bro.
Okay.
Because it's before, after.
For sure.
It handles the business.
No doubt. Okay.
Yeah.
Second question here, man. One thing we know as
Yeah.
bald men is like obviously we don't have the opportunity to really add any variety to our look. We can't go
Yeah.
from the waves to the Caesar
Yeah.
to the braids. We can't really switch it up. So
Yeah.
a lot of men will use hats to
Yeah.
kind of switch
Yeah,
up
yeah.
their style. Do you have a favorite or go-to hat?
Yeah, there's this hat from my other alma mater, my language school alma mater, Middlebury.
Okay.
It's like this like you know, like the hats that like got the clip.
Like a dad hat?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little dad hat. That's a vibe.
Okay.
That's probably because I just haven't like gone to the store and intentionally bought a hat.
Yeah.
But when the winter time hits, man, when the beanies come
Yes,
out,
sir. Yes, sir. That bald and
and you
beanie
gotta
goes
get
crazy.
the right one, man. They gotta fit snug. Like you know, like if you got the fade, you can rock the like beanie that flaps. When you bald, brother, just has to clutch.
Yep.
I'm thinking about that movie, Enemy of the State with Will Smith, when he had the beanie that was real fitted, clean.
Works
Clean.
every time.
Yeah, Common
Works. Oh yeah, come on.
pulls it off.
Come on.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Next question here, man. We always kick game and talk about how like well bald men are doing out here.
Yeah,
and in
yeah,
my
yeah.
opinion, bald men are on top. Right now, we're
Yeah.
really killing the game. I always joke on Instagram.
Critical.
I say, bald man, we up 10 in the fourth right now on everybody else. On everybody else. So Dom, I got to ask you this. There's tons of iconic bald men
Yeah.
that, you know, dead or alive, that kind of been through and paved the way for us.
Yeah.
If you had to think about the top 4 most iconic bald men that you would put on the Mount Rushmore of bald men, who would make that list?
Man. Number 1 is Michael Jordan, bro.
Say that.
I'm born August 23rd. You know, I'm not. I told somebody said something to me. I said, "Do you think I'm black and bald headed and born on the 23rd by coincidence?" Like, let's just be honest about what we're dealing with here. Greatness. Like, and Kobe was born on that.
Come
day.
on now.
Come on, man. Like, how can you like? Come on. Anyways, so I say MJ1.
Okay.
And I'll go with like bald-headed guys whose either their lives or what they've done in life has like influenced me.
Yeah.
Johnny Ives. So Johnny Ives was the head of design, product design at Apple,
Okay.
and like UK-based guy, but his palette on design and how he's like you gotta listen to the guy.
For sure.
Like from a product tech standpoint, man, he's a beast. I'm trying to think who's my third, man.
You got 2 more spots, man.
I know,
Yeah.
coveted. I feel like you gotta put Dwayne Johnson, The Rock,
The
on
Rock
it, man.
has to be in there.
You gotta put The Rock in there. I think that's critical. And that 4th spot is
Last but not
challenging.
least.
That 4th spot is challenging. Dang. The only like what's coming to my mind right now, man, is he looks kind of weird with the bald head though, bro. Jeff Bezos. But
He was the richest man, you know what I'm saying? He might should have made that list. He might.
Facts. Maybe honorable mention, but we accept him. We accept him as he is. I mean, he's blessed us in all of our
Come on,
lives,
man.
right? That's who they shipping. They coming through. I'll give it to Jeff B, man.
For sure.
Yeah, I'll give it to Jeff B. Like I was trying to think about like a world leader who was like, bro, no, he does not get the 4th spot.
Uh-oh.
He gets honorable mention. Dalai Lama, bro.
Ooh,
Yeah.
taking it way back.
Yeah. Dalai Lama, like,
Okay.
had the bald head, like, you know, that's what they do. So, you know, if anybody knows how to do it better, you know, let me know. But I think the Dalai Lama, man, he got the 4th spot.
That's
for
a
sure.
smooth list. That's a
Yeah.
smooth list.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, man.
Last 2 questions here, bro,
Yeah.
and we're gonna take it a little bit deeper, man. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously, there's a reason we're here. One,
Yeah.
your journeys,
Yeah, yeah,
dope.
yeah.
We love to hear about it. But one of the major reasons we're here is to make sure that hopefully some people watching today can actually take game and actually be inspired to kind of embrace their new evolution
sure.
and embrace their new look. So if you knew there were some guys watching right now who are still struggling with their hair loss journey, what would you say to them?
Man, one, like, you know, do a little genealogy check, a little lineage check. I was on the couch and I saw my dad. I looked to the right, I saw my dad. He was sitting far right on the couch on another chair, you know, that love seat. And then my brother was sitting on the end of the couch. And then I looked at my dad, I looked at my brother, and I just saw the trends, bro. So I was able to get ahead of the trends. You know what I'm saying? Before the trend was the trend, I was like, yo, I'm in. Like being bald for the past 5 years is really taking off. Like, I'm on the early adopter stage.
Yeah.
So, I think, look, do a little genealogy and lineage check, man. And if you see that wave happening, don't be out here fasting and praying for some hair, bro. Just go ahead and accept that crown that the good man upstairs trying to give you and come home.
Yeah.
So, I think that's one, man. Two, humility. Humility, man. Like, you see some people who are already bald doing their thing, like, go up and talk to them. Seriously, ask that question. I do not know another bald-headed dude that would probably be like, get the hell away from me.
No,
Nah, because everybody has had that lived experience of the transition, right? With hair to no hair. How did that happen? And everybody has their own path and their own regimen and all that other stuff. One thing you will find consistent with the elite.
elite.
Appreciate oil is a must. The brush is a must. The aftershave is a must, right? Like, the elite, you will find the razor with the elite. Like, it's gonna happen. So, I think, and don't be so quick to get there. Like, definitely go through the process, connect with some other dudes, man, who really in it and make it happen. And last but not least, man, just embrace it.
No doubt.
All you gotta do is embrace it, bro. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Last question here, man. So, me and you, we talk about come home from a hair loss perspective. Like, hey, give it up, go in, come home and join the team. But, as we spell it with the brand, it's actually spelled in French.
Yeah.
And that translates to English to mean like a man or as a man. So we try to take it a little bit deeper with come home because we think it's important for men to really be able to explore their own manhood.
For sure.
So if I ask you right now today, 2021, I think the concept of what it means to be a man has changed a lot over time.
Big time.
What does it mean to you, Dom, to be a man?
Man, that's a very, 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 very good question.
We're going to take it there. We're going to take it there.
Yeah. I always just think about the likeness and the image of God. And how does that reflect? It's more so values.
Okay.
And how do you begin to communicate that in the earth? It's the balance of accepting reward and responsibility. And I think probably in this day and age, I was talking to one of my mentees, we had this conversation around how everybody says, hey, what's up, King?
Yeah.
Right? And I said, one time this dude had like, hey, what's up, King? And usually you say like, what's up, King, back.
Yeah, for sure.
I was just like, some people are really walking out here like princes. Like, you in the prince mode, you still focused on reward but not responsibility.
Yeah.
And so I think when you think about stepping into manhood and moving into kingship, it's really understanding reward and responsibility, not only to thy own self be true, but the community, right? And so that's why I said earlier, man, like as a bald-headed denizen, like as a part of the tribe, you have to be able to, like, hey, bro, you got to know when somebody's transitioning.
Yeah, for sure.
You got to be aware. And so, in that space, man, I think it's how do you reflect the image and the likeness of God? And how do you then live that out in every facet of your life, mentally, spiritually, physically, how you communicate, how you talk, how you welcome people in, how you treat people across the board.
Yeah.
Not the one that you need something from, but like just across the board. How do you treat, male, female, gay, straight, like no matter what, how do you actually operate with people in kindness, man, and genuineness, bro? Yeah.
Dude, that's big and that's deep. And one thing I got from that I'm starting to see is a thread amongst a lot of the answers I get. There's a level of selflessness that's required.
Got to, bro.
To be a man. Because how else do you serve that community? Right?
You can't.
You have to let go of self.
Absolutely.
And be willing to say, hey,
absolutely,
this action is not for me. And also that talks about legacy a bit too. A lot of things that you're building or doing, you may not be doing for yourself. You may not get all those rewards, but you're doing it for who may come after you.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, it's that everybody loves the word alignment. I love it too. I think it's better when you're practicing it. You know what I'm saying? When it's a 2% better mentality every day to really see that incremental growth and just fall in love with the process. Like I was talking to one of my performance coaches, man, about just like getting back, not even getting back, but just upgrading infrastructure. Sometimes when you're like, yo, why isn't this working and this and the other, and then you start doing something that was similar to what you did before and it starts working, but you don't really understand the nuance that just changed. You're not bringing in new infrastructure, you're just upgrading, right? There was never a loss. You're just moving into a new season, and you need to know how to actually upgrade, and you didn't know you needed upgrades, right? So like even in the hair loss journey, you got to go through that. I'm telling you, you got to go through the upgrades, man. So I'm y'all branding is sick, bro.
Thank you, man.
SCH, yeah.
Thank you.
That thing is clean, man. So I'm really like, I'm gonna check out this scalp exfoliator, bro, and really dive in. But you know, it's that process, man, of like really just understanding. Okay, hey, you have to upgrade your infrastructure and be very aware of the timing and the season you in. And it's challenging. It takes a lot of level of self-reflection, people around you that can hold you accountable, but man, accepting both reward and responsibility. And I think that's key, man. That's key.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Hey, Dom, this has been another great episode, bro. I appreciate you.
Listen, man, I saw all the episodes and I was like, y'all got to have me on this. Y'all got me on this one.
I appreciate you 10 times, man. That reward, responsibility, and the idea of, upgrading the infrastructure. I think that is almost an analogy for this hair loss journey and this exploration of self that comes along with that hair loss journey.
Hey, listen, man, sometimes every product, even as you evolve and be involved, like every product didn't stick with me through the journey.
Yep.
Like your body changes, your eating habits change. So the product that has this particular must doesn't connect with what you exuding out in this season in your life. So you got to be aware of that. Like how you, when you go networking, how you smelling? Are you sweating a lot? Right? Like
why are working on fixing stuff like that? You know that.
Exactly. So this thing you just got to think about and just be aware of, man. Yeah, bro. This is fun.
Another great episode of the Ball to Bowl series. Dom, I already mentioned earlier how y'all can find him on social if you ever have questions. Obviously, he's been through his journey. He's also very happy to help or assist anybody who is still going through that journey. So tap in as need be. Again, you guys know where to catch this. We'll be on YouTube, social, all over. Until the next time, y'all stay bald and y'all stay bold. See y'all soon.